And good morning again. It's Friday morning, and today we read from Matthew 21, 12 and 13, just two verses. Then Jesus entered the temple and drove out all who were selling and buying in the temple, and he overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those who sold doves. He said to them, "It is written, 'My house shall be called a house of prayer,' but you are making it a den of robbers." Well, that quote comes from someplace in Jeremiah, I think. So Jesus comes in and turns over the tables of the money changers. There's a frequent meme you'll see on the internet whenever the bankers are in trouble. When I'm sure when inflation continues to go up, we'll see it again. And it's, what would Jesus do? And it has a drawing of him with a whip of cords, and he's like beating the bankers and beating the money changers and driving them out of the temple. I don't think it's described that way, and that specifically anywhere in Scripture, but he does turn over the tables and drives out the animals and stuff. Well, who are these money changers? That's the thing we need to address. I had a senior pastor who said that he didn't like people selling stuff, tickets to things, and whatever you might sell at the church. He didn't like all that to happen in the hallway because when he was a kid, they never had money, and so he'd walk in the 20s and 30s, and there'd be people selling stuff, and he knew he wasn't going to be able to go to that thing or participate in that thing because they didn't have the money. And so he didn't want anybody like that blocking, as it were, the entrance to the church, making people feel inadequate when they came into church. And that's a fine feeling, but he's got his scripture all wrong. The money changers were there, and the vendors selling things, they were there to facilitate the work of the temple. You came to the temple to sacrifice your animal, and so you brought your animal in to be sacrificed. Well, first it had to be inspected. Does it have any blemishes? Oh, it's got a little blemish here, so we can't take that one. Sorry, but we can sell you one over there at table A. And so you go over to table A, and they would sell you a dove, and they'd say, "Oh, we'll take that other dove off your hands if you want." And you say, "Sure, here." I think they would sell it to the next person, but that's my speculation. At any rate, so you got your dove, you've bought your dove, and then you go, and the next thing you've got to do is pay your temple tax. Well, and this is a tax that everybody paid, and it funded the temple and funded some of the ministries of the temple, the poor box and things. And so you're going to pay this, and all you've got are Galilean coins, some Roman denarii or something. You don't have the right money. See, we live in a country where everybody uses one kind of coin, right? Everybody uses U.S. dollars. Every once in a great while, the church treasurer will come and say, "Oh, look what we found in the offering plate," and hold up a coin from Mexico or Canada, which we can't use. You can't take those to a store and use them because they don't know what to do with them. So they just don't accept them because they'd have to go somewhere, I guess a bank, and exchange them. And the banks don't want to deal with that either. So we haven't lived in a place where you might have, German marks in one pocket and French coins in another, and you using all these different kinds of money. That's the way it was in the ancient world. You had all these different kinds of money. And to pay the temple tax, you had to pay with temple coins. And so they'd be glad to change your money for you, no problem. At an exorbitant interest rate, of course. And so you'd pay the fee and get your temple coins, and then you could be on your way, which Jesus sees as another way that they're just squeezing the poor, taking money from the poor that the poor don't have, ripping them off as every turn so that the priests get richer. The temple gets richer, and the poor people are left with nothing. Um, Now, think about that when you go do your Black Friday shopping. Who is ripping off whom? I'll leave you to think about that. That's a downer for today. Tomorrow we'll go on with the next bit, which is a little more of what Jesus usually talks about. So I think we'll be doing well. So we'll see you tomorrow, and have a great day shopping.